Sometimes your data can get in the way when you're trying to analyze information in a large worksheet. For example, this table contains a lot of good detailed information about thousands of orders. But if I'm interested only in analyzing shipping dates and the countries that orders are shipped to, all of this other information can slow me down. When something is in the way on your worksheet, you can select it and then right-click to use the shortcut menu to move it or delete it. However, in most cases, you need to keep the data in your worksheet intact. In Excel 2007, you can temporarily eliminate the clutter by hiding the rows and columns you don't need to view. First, I'll show you how to hide columns. Just select the ones you want to hide, right-click in the selected area, and then click Hide. When I hide rows or columns, all of the data is still there. I just don't see it. After I finish analyzing some data, I can unhide my columns by selecting the columns that display on either side of the hidden ones, right-clicking in the selected area, and then clicking Unhide. Now let me show you how to hide and unhide rows. To hide them, I select the rows, right-click in the selected area, and then click Hide. To unhide them, I just select the rows above and below the hidden ones, right-click in the selected area, and then click Unhide. Here's another technique. This worksheet contains more than 30,000 records that show a great deal of detail about customer purchases. I want to quickly analyze the data to get an idea of the most popular products by sales group. To do that, I hide the data I don't need to see. I select the columns I don't need by dragging across the column headings. I skip over the columns I want to view, and then I hold down the Control key and select more columns. On the Home tab, in the Cells group, I click Format. I point to Hide and Unhide, and then click Hide Columns. That's much better. Now I can easily see the products sold by group and country. I can tell at a glance which columns are hidden by looking at the column heading labels. I see that column G follows column B, so I know that the columns between those two, C, D, E, and F, are hidden. Before I start analyzing my data, I see in the Product Category column that the table includes sales records for accessories. I'd like to exclude these records from my analysis. Because the data is in a table, I could simply click the Filter button and clear the checkbox to filter out all the rows that contain accessories. However, I'd rather hide the accessories rows to make sure that accessories cannot be filtered in again when I do my analysis. I start by clicking Sort A to Z so that all of the rows containing accessories are grouped together. Then I click the first row containing accessories. I hold down the Shift key, and then click the last row. I could click Format on the Home tab in the Cells group, but to make it easier, I right-click the selection and then click Hide. Excel hides the rows I selected. Now when I click the Filter button, I see that there are no cells in the Product Category column that contain the text Accessories, so I know that those rows are hidden. I can sort the table by group and start my analysis. Now that I've finished, I'll return the table to its original condition by unhiding the hidden columns and rows. If I want to unhide only the columns between B and G, here's one way I can do that. I select both of those columns. Then, on the Home tab in the Cells group, I click Format, point to Hide and Unhide, and click Unhide Columns. There's a quicker way, though, which I'll use to unhide the columns between J and AA. I right-click the selection, and then click Unhide. I can unhide rows by selecting the rows on both sides of the hidden rows, but in a worksheet with 30,000 records, it's easier just to unhide all rows and columns at once. To do that, I click the Select All button. Then I right-click the selection and click Unhide. There, I've analyzed my data and returned my worksheet to its original condition. Here are some other things to keep in mind. Let's say you've hidden column A, and now you want to unhide it. You can't select the columns on both sides of it because there is no column to the left of column A. Instead, you need to first select column A. Type A1 in the name box, and then press Enter. Notice that the cursor moves to the left of cell B1, where the hidden column will appear. On the Home tab, in the Cells group, click Format, point to Hide and Unhide, and click Unhide Columns. There's something else. If you have more than one worksheet in a workbook, you can right-click the Sheet tab, and then hide and unhide entire worksheets. And on the View tab in the Window group, you can hide and unhide entire workbook windows with the Hide and Unhide Window buttons. If you're working with an outline view of a worksheet, you can hide and unhide rows using the outline symbols. For more information about outlines or hiding and unhiding workbook windows, see the links in the article associated with this demo. When you're working with a large worksheet, hiding and unhiding rows and columns can help you focus on just the data you need.